I lost my left eye, the nose. I had fragmentations on arms, fingers, legs and stomach. Brain hemorrhages, I had 7 scattered around in the brain. For like 5 hours, they didn't know whether or not I was going to sort of make it or not. Blast injury to my left side of the body, primarily up on the shoulder part. So the shoulder blade kind of sticked out.
– 29-year-old James Ashley Robinson barely survived 2 IED explosions. An Afghani translator was killed in the attack. James stays positive, despite everything. His fiancée Line helps him get through the obstacles. Because after the blast, James's life would never be the same again.
Woke up in the morning and prepared to go on patrol. We walked out the gate, turned right, and we're heading west. And 8 meters along the track, we stopped to do our radio checks and made sure that everybody, the ANA who were up ahead, that they were okay. I called in on my radio. Next thing I remember is a sharp pain in my face. I put my hand up to my face and I couldn't see anything on both eyes. I could feel that something was wrong, like bad. My glasses were still on and my helmet was still on, but I could feel that like my nose was, it was gone and there was something missing, and could taste the blood, and there was something wrong with this eye. I didn't know how bad it was at that time. I just knew the something was hanging which wasn't supposed to be hanging, and I couldn't see anything on this. So I just hit the deck, laid down on the ground, trying to sort of all the info. Everybody just hits the ground once the IED goes, and you wait until the dust has settled. Called out for a medic, and lots of shouting going on at this point. And so one of the guys behind me sort of just lay still. I remember that, and then I don't remember anymore.
James was hit by a second IED 1 minute later. A helicopter brought him back to the army base, and from there they took him home. He woke up from a coma after 19 days.
The wake-up period was very, very weird. And it was very hazy, and it was like the contact officer who was there with my family and with Line and supporting them through everything. Apparently I had met him up to several times during this period where I have woken up and shook his hand and said hello and that. Couldn't remember it. So every time I came to, I didn't know who he was. And I think he got fed up with it in the end, but finally I came over that phase, and then I was awake. I could remember stuff, and then it all started slowly coming back.
The contact officer at James' bed is Anders Damborg. He helps soldiers and their families in situations like James. The Danish army has a military notification officer for 8 years.
I try to respond in a professional manner, not showing my feelings, but of course it's difficult not to show your feelings when you see a person like that, a young person that has so heavy casualties. I'm trying to help him in every way to get his life ongoing with the injuries he has and so on. So I'm also, after something had happened, I'm the one that helps the soldiers.
If you don't have an idea, if you don't have your own ideas of how bad it can go or what you're going down to get into, then you shouldn't be there.
Although James was well prepared for the dangers, he needs a therapist to help him deal with his problems. Especially in the beginning, his completely new appearance was hard to accept.
It comes as a bit of a shock the first time you see yourself in the mirror. And I thought, wow, they got the job done with their IED, definite. So they definitely had like a head hit. But I don't know, I didn't, laying in the bed and laying in the hospital bed up until then, and then like feeling my face and that, I didn't expect it. I thought it's weird. I didn't expect it to look the way it did when I came out. I didn't expect it to be that bad. I know that the thought went through my mind when I was standing in formation, looking out onto that field where there was like 700 of the guys. And I thought, okay, shit, how many of us are gonna get hit? And I thought that, and I think 95% of all of the guys standing there thought the exact same thing. You have an idea in your head, you say to yourself, it's gonna happen, but it's not gonna happen to me. Getting injured, it brings mental problems as well. There's been problems with sleep, and I had for a long time still having trouble sleeping. It'll be the scenarios that we've experienced before, playing out the way they actually did, but sometimes in the dreams also playing out in complete different ways, which is a bit weird. Waking up and then thinking, whoa, I can remember exactly what happened that day. I remember exactly what we did and where we moved, what happened and stuff. But then having a dream about the exact same thing, but where everything just goes like to shit. That's and then waking up and it's like you're bathed in sweat and you got like sticky hands and like, that's some strange stuff. I'm very, very lucky. I am very lucky because yes, I did get hit, but losing an eye and losing the ability to smell and stuff is like, it's small handicaps. And considering how close I was to not coming home, I find myself very lucky. But I have my arms, I have my legs for when we have kids, so I can run around with my kids, I can lift them up, I can play with them. Try to get like at least one weekend a month where we can sort of get together.
James looks back on his time in Afghanistan with a good feeling. He doesn't regret anything and is honored to be part of the Danish army.
You can't buy this experience, you can't buy these friendships, and you can't buy this camaraderie for anything. It's priceless, and nothing in the world I wouldn't swap it for anything. They could blow me up 1,000,000 times, I would still say the same.
Oh, what the fuck? Got like midget. It's not military regulation size, that. Oh.
To be put in these scenarios and know that the guys next to you, no matter if it's from a unit that you work with or from any other unit from the army, that the guys next to you, they are there to protect you, to look after you, and they will do everything to look after you as you would do the same for them. That gives it gives a very special feeling, and it's very honored to be part of that.
When he woke up at the hospital, it was one of the first thing he said. Within 2 weeks, I'm back in Helmand. Promise me that, Anders. And I couldn't promise him anything, so I just said we'll try to do our best, but let's see what happens tomorrow. They want to return as fast as possible, and that is actually all the soldiers are saying that, because they are part of the team that is making patrols and so on.
I guess in some manner you're going to be part of the army for life, because you're always going to have your contacts, you're always going to have your friendships.
Besides friendships, he also found the love of his life in Afghanistan, Line. She worked as a soldier in the same army bases.
And all of a sudden she was in our unit and we got together. And sort of like that. Love at first sight. There's not many people in their 20s and in the beginning of a relationship who get chucked into a scenario like this, where you really get to see the true colors of each other and how strong individuals can be. So yeah, that was very surprising. She's a very, very strong woman.
Sometimes you actually think, I wish it would have happened to me instead. Yeah, because then you don't have to stand next to and not being able to do anything about it. So it's difficult. I think the hardest part, if I set my mind up for, if we have a great day and then I think, well, I'm looking forward for tomorrow because we can do this or we can do like we used to do, and then none of it is gonna happen because he's so tired he's never gonna get out of bed. And then you're walking around alone and your mind is setting off and you start to think all like the negative thoughts about everything has changed and it's a completely different life, it's a completely different man. That's the worst moments.
Together they go through tough times. Despite many changes in their lives, they're still gonna get married this summer.
I don't see it anymore because I'm here every day and I don't really think about it. We've talked a lot about it because you see it a lot more than I do. But when we walk around, he's still just the man I love, and this is just a period of time where he's looking a bit different from what he did before. It's true.
Sweet way to say it.
Yeah, but I don't see it the same way. I just see him because I know him and who he is as a person, and that's what matters, not his looks.
I've had children who have come up to me and said that I look like Lord Voldemort from Harry Potter because I'm missing the nose. It's great, and I find that fun.
The IED explosion has changed James's whole life, but plastic surgeons promised him that he will get his old face back. His dreams have never faded away.
I am glad to be alive. I love life. I feel very blessed. I still get the chance to live life. A long, happy life with Line and family, children. Hopefully be able to give out experience, to pass on the stuff that I have learned through life to our children someday. That's my dream.